Good morning in the beautiful Galilee morning. Man, is it beautiful? Is it a good day to be alive? Just like the title says, is I experienced a health crisis. I don't think it was anything that anybody could have anticipated in, but it happened nonetheless. I'm going to look at my calendar here on my phone. On October the 23rd, in the evening, I began to feel strange. It was in the evening, and my day was pretty much over. I was just shutting down the kitchen and putting the last few pieces back into place for the evening. And I started feeling like my balance was off. And then I had gone to the bathroom. And when I come out of the bathroom, my balance felt very off. And I couldn't stay out of the wall. When I'd walk into the wall. And then about the same time, I started to feel this numbness in my right hand. So I called my husband, who was sitting in the front yard, and I said, I think you better come in here. Something's not right. And he came in, and everything just kind of kept getting a little bit more difficult. And I remember at one point in my battle against whatever this was, and I knew it was a battle from the beginning. From the beginning, I knew it was an attack that Elohim was allowing for a trial. Did you know that? Do you know that when you're attacked in any genre, that it's been allowed as a trial? Did you know that? So, as my husband was walking me through the house, um, I just was fighting the use of my right leg. It wasn't working. And I would remember saying, I will not succumb to this. I will not succumb to this. I am going to overcome this. I'm not going to go down this hole. And I thought it was probably something like a migraine. But it was not getting better. My husband adjusted my back sometime during that process, and it was not, and he couldn't adjust it, which was unusual. And so he took me back to my bedroom to sit on the edge of my bed, and he disappeared. He didn't tell me where he was going. But he went to look at symptoms. And as I was sitting there, I think I dropped something, is what I remember. And when I bent over or got up, because it was out of my reach, to pick up this item, my whole right side was paralyzed. And I remember that I pivoted to the right because my left side, of course, was functioning and fine, and my right side was not there. I pivoted to the right and I landed face first on the floor. And I thought, oh, that didn't go well. I actually remember thinking that I was at the mercy of Elohim and that I was no longer an able-bodied person. I mean, we're not those exact thoughts, but that was the feeling that was going through my mind. And so my husband's still outside and I'm still flat on my face. And I was able to get myself on my hiney and set up with much effort. So he came back, and a friend that we had called showed up because my husband's not a driver, I'm the driver. And she showed up and we were talking, and he says, I think it's a stroke. And so he had called for the ambulance. And I was so determined, I don't know, at a level I don't understand, to not be down and defeated, that I scooted on my hiney from my bedroom to my dining room. Well, so the ambulance came and took me to the hospital. And that's where I found I had a brain hemorrhage, a very small one, according to science, just a very small one. But the brain hemorrhage took away everything on my right side, all of my abilities. I couldn't lift my hand. I couldn't lift my foot, nothing on the right side. I was like, this line all the way down on that right side over, that was absolutely numb. I could feel nothing. And I still have a little bit of numbness today, although it's not bad when I touch my face. I still got a little bit of numbness. Um, so yeah, so we went to the hospital in the ambulance. They took me in for a CAT scan. They said, "Yeah, you've got a brain bleed, a small one, not the kind that you would operate on." And by the time I got to the hospital, the bleed itself was finished. They could see where it had bled, but it was not changing. So I was in the hospital for 4 days, bed rest, flat on my back. And the first day I remember I could feel my fingers a little bit. The second day I remember I could move my toes a little bit. The third day I was moving my fingers pretty good, but they were still not asleep. And by the fourth day I had crossed my legs in bed without even thinking about it. So my restoration was happening very, very quickly. And so that was, let me look at my calendar here. That was 1, 2, 3, 4. That was the 26th that I could move my foot and I could actually begin to walk a little bit, though I couldn't feel anything. By the 26th, I was beginning to get feeling back in my hands. The 27th, I fought them like a wildcat to go home. I was not resting in the hospital. That's another subject. I mean, so I'll just briefly tell you why I wasn't resting in the hospital because we're in war. And so they've put all the units for the patients below ground and basically like an unused portion of the hospital. And we were no longer above ground. And so my ward, my neurology ward, had like 15 people all in the same floor, all in the same room. We had the little curtain dividers that they put on either side. They had the curtain dividers and no sound barrier. And the way Israel's hospital is set up is not like the United States hospital at all. They don't provide your care past the basic care. Your family shows up, and whatever it is you need, they take care of. So they were, showing up. They were bringing food. They were sitting with them. The family would say, "Oh, blah 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 blah," and they get up and they go to the nurse's station. They take care of that for them. And I didn't have that because, again, my husband's older and limited mobility, doesn't drive. So I was there by myself. And it was very noisy when you have 15 Israelis in the same room and families start showing up. Like the Arab guy next to me, he had 7 kids that showed up. So he was older and he was, I don't know if he was just that way or if maybe there was a little bit of mental decline there, but he would get upset and start yelling. And in response, every one of his 7 children would start talking back to him in the same moment very loudly. So if you can imagine trying to sleep through some of that, or the Bedouin lady across the way who had 5 children and weren't noisy, but just visiting. And then you do that by 2 to 3 people for every 15 people. If you can imagine from 1 o'clock till 10 o'clock, it was absolutely impossible for me to rest. So that's the story of that. So I was in there for 4 days and I was quite anxious to come home on the fifth day, whereas they wanted to keep me for 10 to 7 more days in a rehab facility to get me back up on my feet. Well, I did not want that. I was not thrilled at not resting, and I was just exhausted from nights of not sleeping and being next to this Arab guy. So I had to fight about I think about four different people, the nurse, physical therapy, and the doctors. And I said, no, just sign me out on my own recognizance. I'm going to go home. And the first day I slept 10 hours. And I think most of the days since then, just catching up on sleep that I missed from the beginning, I've been sleeping an awful lot. But what has happened since I have been home is I have full use of both hands. They work together again. Okay, so I can do things like let's see, I can manage things, I can, touch things, I can put things together and put my necklace on. My leg is probably about, I would say 40 to 30% numb, but I'm walking on that. I can feel myself walking on that. Um, and I'm walking without a walker. And, things happen every day. Like a couple of days ago, I regained control of my urine. And I just have to tell you that our Elohim is so faithful, so faithful. Again, I knew going into this that this would be a faith walk between myself and him. And that's why you've not heard from me. That's why you don't know any of this until just now, is because I heard in my spirit that I wasn't to tell anybody that this was going to be a faith walk between me and him. And indeed, I have waited on the Lord and anticipated daily for the changes in my body as they've come back around to waking up. And I just wanted to put this out there myself and let you know that He's faithful no matter what you're going through. He's faithful. He is so faithful. Don't give up on Him. We give up on Him too early. We don't want to go through the test He's giving us. Oh my goodness, who ever heard that? What, a week and 9 days ago, is it? And I have been walking here in the house for at least, though not well, I will admit, it's a lot better today. It's like almost normal. Even though I'm still not feeling everything, I have control. I think, so let's see, if I come home on the 28th and I 23. So yeah, what is that? Just about a week and 2 days? A week and 2 days. And I've gone from being right side a handicapped invalid, not able to do anything for myself, to doing everything for myself. My husband still runs if I runs to find me if it sounds a little klutzy, which shoot, I'm not complaining about it. I'm celebrating the fact that I'm taking care of myself. I'm celebrating the fact that I'm doing my own laundry. I'm celebrating the fact that I'm able to feed the parrots. I'm celebrating the fact that I don't have to call anybody to get out of bed. I'm celebrating the goodness of our Father. So I don't really have a lot more to say than that, other than don't send me anything negative. Do not send me anything negative. I will take it down. I will not read it because this absolutely is a faith walk between me and Elohim. And I wait on him daily for the improvements, and daily he gives me an improvement. But don't send me anything of, oh, it took me this long, or oh, it's going to take you a while to recover, or oh, you don't know if you're going to get all of your. I know what Elohim's going to do. Elohim is going to take care of me, and I'm going to return to the point that he wants me to, whatever that is. And today, it's looking like 100% restoration in the coming days. I'm not going to tell you how many days. I'm not the one in charge of it, but it looks like in the coming days, I'll have 100% restoration. Now let's talk about the brain bleed. Sometimes the tongue gets tangled still. The brain bleed was quite serious. A brain bleed is more dangerous than a stroke, which is a blood clot, at least by Israeli definition. My brain bled, and people who have large brain bleeds die. However, in the goodness of my Father, who saw fit to let me live, people who have brain bleeds recover more completely than those who have strokes with a blood clot. It takes the strokes longer to be absorbed, and they have the ability to do more damage during that time. Whereas with a brain bleed, they're absorbed more readily. So the fact that I'm sitting here talking to you after a brain bleed is nothing short of miraculous. It's nothing short of my Father saying, I'm not finished with you here on earth. And I don't know what not finished with me looks like. If there's something new to include in what He's already done, doesn't matter. But I do know that whatever it is, I'm in for it because my Lord is merciful. He is good. He is faithful. I can't say enough about Him. And I can't say enough about the process in these days of literally waiting to see what He is going to provide. Literally waiting day in and day out to see what He's going to provide in the way of recovery. So that's what I have to share with you. Um, there'll probably be a more full testimony of this event, which includes a few other days, kind of have an idea of why this or the timing of this happening, um, when it happened. So there'll probably be a more full testimony concerning that in sometime in the future. But for now, I just wanted to get this out to you and say that Elohim is faithful. Don't give up no matter what you're going through. Seek Him, seek Him, seek Him, seek His face, seek His presence. He's faithful. And your timetable may not be my timetable. Do you know, I was talking to a friend that's going through a healing journey from some major surgery, and she's been a bit depressed because her healing seems to be taking more time than it normally would. And in fact, the doctor also said that her healing was taking more time. And she's been a bit discouraged. And this is what I told her. I said, the time that it's taking is the time that the Father has given you to get well. And there's a reason that it's taking that long. There's a reason. Get on your face before Him, spend time with Him, and trust His timing because there's a reason. He's working something out in your life, whether it's patience, whether it's, it doesn't matter what that thing is. With me, I think it's just teaching me how to fight right now because that's what it feels like. I, I feel like from the beginning, when I knew it was an attack, I was to stand, wait on Elohim, claim what's mine, and just stand in the midst of the attack and learn how to fight for what's mine and learn how to stay at His feet, and learn how to seek Him on a daily basis. So for me, it has been that type of a fight. But whatever it is that you're going through with your health, it may not come in the time that you want it to. Don't be discouraged. It's not your place to be discouraged. It's human to be discouraged, but pick yourself up. If you need someone to encourage you, reach out to me. But pick yourself up and find Elohim in the midst of this and sit at His feet. Okay, guys, it is Friday, and I'm looking forward to Shabbat. And I send you all my greetings. Shabbat Shalom from the Galilee, where Elohim is ever good and ever faithful to those who love and serve Him. Shabbat Shalom.